So there comes a time when you think, how much do I spend on petrol? How much every month do you spend on petrol? Or have you got an EV and you don't spend any money at all? That sort of got me thinking, because I've been watching a guy called Ian Sampson, who you should definitely check out, on Rural Leaf Owner on YouTube. And he really loves his Nissan Leaf. And we've been looking at the idea of electric cars for about a year and a half, but never really felt that we could afford one. And so we decided to just leave it, really, and just carry on. We've got a little course, so this does us okay. The problem is that it's a two-door, and my kids are now grown up. They're 20 and 22. So they have to keep cramming in the back, and we go, you know, lots of little journeys to the station and back, and it all uses up petrol, and it uses up oil, and, you know, mechanically the car gets worn. So we got to thinking, what if we owned an electric vehicle? Which one would we go for? Well, the one that everybody sort of immediately knows, I think, is probably the Tesla. If you've done any research about this at all. But that's way too expensive currently. We're left with, you know, the Renault Zoe, the Ampera, or however it's called, or the Nissan Leaf, or something like that anyway. So we did a bit of research and had a bit of fun looking at the Twizy. The Renault Twizy is awesome. I'd love one of them just to have a mess about with, but clearly you can't just spend that kind of money to mess about. And we're in the serious business of needing a car that the family can fit in easily and comfortably, and that will get us from A to B every day and do the general jobs that we have to do. So the one that falls right into that category is the Nissan Leaf. There's always a little bit too small, so from our point of view, there's always a bit too small. So we did a bit of research, and we found Ian Sampson, Rural Leaf Owner, and been watching his daily blogs for the last few months. And they've gone to weekly blogs now, but they're really interesting and really full of some great stuff. There's some great insight from Ian, and really became comfortable watching things like Fully Charged and Transport Evolved and other channels. Became very comfortable with the idea that 80 to 100 miles is probably okay. The comfort and the sort of size of the car is right. We just had to find the price, to get the price to a point where we could sort of afford it, because it's not cheap. But I did some calculations. We spend about £150 a month just on petrol in this car. So if you come at it from that angle, all of a sudden you're kind of getting into the point where you think, well, if I wasn't paying for petrol and I could charge mainly for free or for very little at home, for free out and about, you'll find chargers are everywhere, then maybe it becomes something that you could do. And that's what we're doing, really. We're going to go and get a Leaf. We're going to go and get a Leaf. That's what we're going to do. And hopefully that'll be a change in our lifestyle and a change in our lives that will be for our benefit, and it'll benefit the planet, and I won't have to pay £150 out every month for petrol. Imagine that. That's going to be awesome. A Nissan Leaf. A Nissan Leaf. A Leaf. Should be really nice. It's going to be very green, very ecological. Hopefully it's going to be a bit cheaper to drive in the long run. It'll be very cheap, but to start with, there'll be a transition period where it's kind of cost neutral. Over the years, though, it should really save some money. So now we've decided on the car. There's quite a few things you have to decide about, or question yourself about, in terms of house electrics and things like that. Where are you going to put a charging point, and how is that going to happen exactly? because you need a special charging point at home, or you can have the trickle charger, which is the 3-pin plug. But I'm kind of wanting to charge it in 4 or 5 hours, so we picked up the phone and called British Gas, who are doing a free install for charging points at in domestic circumstances. So you phone them up, you tell them I'd like a charging port, and they come and fit it. Sounds simple, doesn't it? We'll see, won't we? We'll see. That's the idea. It's probably not going to be as simple as that, because things never are they? In the meantime, if we get the car home, I'll have to go to different charge places around the area to see, and plug in there, see who's got a charger which is compatible, because they're not always compatible. And you have to have a little card, I think, and you swipe the card and the charger recognises the card and recognises the fact you're part of a network, a club if you like, of EV drivers, and it allows you either free charge, so you get electricity for free, or sometimes there's actually a charge for charging. But anyway, so those kind of things are all going to be things we're going to talk about, and what I want to do is sort of share my experience with everyone, and if you've got some questions, maybe they're answered here. Hopefully. I know that quite a lot of my questions were answered with Ian's blogs, so don't forget to check him out. Rural Leaf owner, really excellent. My sort of experience is going to be more urban, I think, because I've got a 60-40 motorway sort of city journey to make every day. So that's going to be interesting. Where to park it safely, where there might be a charge point, and how's it going to do in traffic on a motorway, and how's it going to do in traffic in a city. Well, the city's Manchester, and that's very busy in the morning, I can tell you. So that'll be interesting to see how the batteries work in that situation. So hopefully we've got lots of interesting things to explore, and just stay tuned, and we'll start the adventure. I've just got to figure out where the carport's, the point for charging, is going to be, and I better have a look at those electrics and make sure they're in order. I think that's it, really. So here we are outside, and this is where all the magic's going to happen. Take some power and bring it out using armour core, and it's going to go along the wall, and then it's going to go over a brand new gate which will arrive hopefully very soon, and then it's going to go along this wall, probably either on the top here, which looks like that, either here or maybe here underneath, which might look a bit neater, and it's going to go destination garage. So it'll go in here. Let's see why. So at the minute you can see at the bottom of the wall inside the garage is a very old cable which comes up and goes to a domestic box here. That'll need replacing also, and what that means is this unit will come out. The cable that's going to go across that wall will come in here, fit to here, and bring 50 amps in here, and then from here we'll take a lead out and through the wall outside there to the other side of this wall, and this is the other side of that wall. So we'll probably come through the wall here somewhere, probably here, and the charging point will go here, and the cable will come down and charge the new car, which will eventually be here where I'm stood. So there's quite a lot to do. New domestic fuse box in the house, new domestic fuse box in the garage, armour plate or core or something or other big tube of electricity going from the house to the garage, and then the free British gas charger from the garage to the drive, so we can charge the car. Sounds easy. We've got about 5 or 6 days to get it sorted because the car's due at the end of next week, at the end of this week. Oh God.